My brother gave me a challenge a few weeks ago. He said to explain the plot of Kingdom Hearts in one sentence. I bet you can't. And I couldn't. Plot points and themes, yeah, those were no-brainers, but a concise plot summary, I just couldn't do it. Kingdom Hearts isn't a series that's easily explained. It's more of a series that you feel. I felt the characters and everything they went through. I felt the tone of the symbolism. I grew up with all the Disney characters and learned to love the Final Fantasy characters. I cry really hard when I sing Simple and Clean or Passion by Utada Hikaru. Like, too hard. Like, ugly crying too hard. And in explaining this to my brother, I realized something kind of scary. All that stemmed from nostalgia, of me remembering how I felt about Kingdom Hearts as a kid. And maybe now that I'm older, I've outgrown it. In the long wait between main series installments, maybe the games just don't excite me like they used to. Kingdom Hearts, for those who don't know, is a fantasy RPG fighting game featuring a mix of Final Fantasy and Disney characters, which by all accounts should not have worked, but it did. Better than Donald's healing abilities. Seriously, just heal me, you stupid pantless duck. You play as Sora, or sometimes Roxas, as you fight the Heartless and Nobodies and try to keep the world you travel to from falling into darkness at the hands of the Heartless and Organization 13, who try to gain access and devour the hearts of all worlds, the Kingdom Hearts.
There it is! There it is!
And that's just a short synopsis. I left out a lot of stuff, and most of that probably didn't make any sense. If I explained the whole thing, we'd be here for hours, and that's just summing up the main series games. I didn't even talk about Dream Drop Distance, or the remixes, or 358 Days Over 2. How do you even save that one? Who's naming these games? That's not even getting into how the Heartless and Nobodies are made, or why Mickey is a king, or the Keyblade War, or any of that stuff. And I'll be honest, I've only played the first two games, and Kingdom Hearts RE Chain of Memories, which is like a card game that I soft-locked myself out of because apparently I can't do simple math when it comes to fighting enemies, and it makes me wonder if I'm bad at video games altogether. That's a long story for another day. Anyway, I like the world building and the lore and the aesthetics from what I got in those games so much that I waited until I could play as Sora again and continue the main story. And waited, and waited, and waited. Yeah, it's been a long time since 2 came out. The first game in the series came out in 2002. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in 2005 when I was 11 years old, and Kingdom Hearts 3, Lord willing, will come out in January 2019, and I'll be just shy of 25 years old by then. That's a long wait, and I've lived so much and grown so much in that time that I can't be the only one who feels that the series may feel unfamiliar or overly convoluted to them. Long waits between installments of media can work. The first thing that comes to mind for me is Samurai Jack. The show ended in 2004 and was revived on Adult Swim in 2017. Twin Peaks, Arrested Development, and most recently Star Wars The Clone Wars all returned or will be returning after long hiatuses, but the difference is that those shows matured with their audiences over time. Samurai Jack 2004 and Samurai Jack 2017 shared creative teams, art styles, and characters, but knew that the audience that watched the original show had matured over the years had been gone. So the show matured with it, adding more mature or adult themes, violence, language, deeper concepts, etc. Same with Twin Peaks and Arrested Development. While the tone of the shows have remained the same, they've still updated things for audiences who originally watched the shows, whether it was in the writing style, subject matter, or references. So with Kingdom Hearts, a game whose main demographic was children and preteens, and whose fan base is now in their mid to late 20s and early 30s, I have a feeling nothing has changed, and that's not a good thing. Watching the newest trailer feels in line with the first two games. I'm thankful for the consistency, but what I found interesting or engaging as a preteen isn't the same as what I find interesting now as a 24-year-old. Themes that resonated with me as a preteen feel juvenile looking back on them now. Every kid went through their angsty emo scene phase, of which we do not speak, and at the epicenter of that for a lot of kids in the mid-2000s was Kingdom Hearts, with its black robe villains and overabundance of chains and themes about light and darkness and the perfect mix of kiddie Disney characters and edgy Final Fantasy characters. Like being wedged between two worlds, kinda like how being a preteen felt. But those are feelings so steeped in being a preteen that they're hard to come by now as an adult, at least not in the same way. If the installments of the games came closer together, I'd be more psyched, but they just kept pushing back the release date that after a while I moved on to other games and other stories that resonated and aged with me, and I feel like a lot of other people did that too. Kingdom Hearts isn't really a series I hear younger kids talking about. I mean, they won't shut the hell up about Fortnite, but Kingdom Hearts? Unless they were introduced to it by an older sibling or found it on their own, most of the fan base I feel like is made up of OG fans. It's turned into a running joke about how long the wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 has been, and I feel like when you wait for and dream about something for years on end, you kinda lose hope or lose interest in it ever coming. It's like a dream deferred sort of thing. That's a Raisin in the Sun or Links to Hughes reference for you English nerds out there. The long wait time just feels like someone dangling a carrot in front of your face, and after a while you don't bother chasing it anymore. And if you're some young kid who learned about Kingdom Hearts and gets to play the games all the way through without having to wait like the rest of us did, first of all, how dare you? No, I'm joking, it's totally fine that you didn't have to wait almost half your life for this game, but it's fine, whatever. The games haven't disappointed so far, so hopefully for old fans and for new, there will be something at least there for everyone to enjoy. I'm still gonna play 3 when it comes out, but it feels like I'm doing it more out of obligation than a desire. When you wait for a game for almost 14 damn years, you're gonna play it, but I've been waiting for this game for so long that I'm not even excited about it anymore. The idea of playing it feels like a chore now, and for a game whose world I was so enthralled with and identified with so much as a kid, to feel that way kinda sucks. Isn't being an adult so much fun? But tell me what you guys think. Are you excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 to finally come out? Which game in the series is your favorite? Am I just being an over-dramatic sad boy about this? Probably. Leave a comment down in the pit about what you think. Like, share, and subscribe, and the whole shebang, and thanks for watching. Alright, bye. You play as Sora, or sometimes Roxas, as you fight the Heartless and Nobodies and try to keep the worlds you travel to from falling into darkness at the hands of the Heartless and Organization 13, who try to gain access and devour the hearts of the worlds you go to. Ooh, wait, hold on. That's a long sentence. It's about as complicated as explaining the plot to the story, am I right? I need an actual chair for when I record. I'm sitting on like a card. So I got like a plastic box and a pillow, like some peasant. I feel like if people saw my YouTube setup, they'd be like, what is going on? I have like a Flintstones tabletop and my janky ass laptop. This thing on a bed and on top of a plastic box. Samurai Jack 2004 and Samurai Jack 2017 shared creative teams, art styles, and characters, but knew that the audience that watched the original show and matured over the years had been gone. So the show matured with it, adding more mature or adult themes, violence, language, deeper concepts, etc. I did it! Yay! It's so late.